How many years have already slipped through your fingers? How many dreams have you delayed? How many goals have you postponed? How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow? The truth is, tomorrow is not guaranteed. And another year wasted is another year you will never get back. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It is living year after year without purpose, without progress, without passion. But here's the good news. You don't have to waste another year. This can be the turning point, the moment you decide that your future is worth more than your excuses. Stay with me till the end of this message, because I will show you how to redeem your time, break free from delay, and step boldly into the life you were created to live. Time is the most precious currency you will ever possess, yet it is often the one most carelessly spent. Unlike money, time cannot be earned back once it is gone. You can recover from financial losses, rebuild broken opportunities, and even regain strength after failure, but you can never reclaim a single second that has passed. Every day, every hour, every moment is a deposit from life into your hands, and how you spend it determines the quality of your future. To waste time is to waste life itself, because time is the raw material from which every achievement, every success, and every legacy is built. The tragedy is that many people live as though time is unlimited. They act as if they will always have tomorrow, as if opportunities will wait forever, as if their dreams can sit on the shelf until they feel ready. But tomorrow is not promised. The most dangerous lie you can believe is that you have plenty of time. Procrastination whispers, you can start later, but later quickly becomes weeks, months, and then years. Before you know it, an entire decade has passed, and the dream that once burned in your heart has grown cold. What makes wasted time so painful is that it cannot be replaced. You cannot go back to your youth, you cannot relive lost years, and you cannot recover what you neglected. The value of time is not only in its limitation, but also in its potential. Every great achievement in history was built by someone who respected the clock. They understood that time is a gift and treated it as sacred. Whether you use your time to build, learn, grow, and invest, or to waste, complain, and remain stagnant, the clock keeps ticking. Time does not pause for your hesitation, your fear, or your excuses. It moves forward relentlessly, and the question is not whether it will pass. It is what you will do with it. As it does, think about your own life. How many hours have you wasted scrolling endlessly, arguing over things that do not matter, or replaying regrets of the past? Every moment you spend dwelling in unproductive spaces is a moment you could have invested in creating the future you desire. The greatest regret people confess at the end of their lives is not the mistakes they made, but the time they wasted, the relationships they didn't nurture, the dreams they didn't chase, the opportunities they let slip by. Time, once gone, becomes the most painful loss because no effort, no wealth, no power can bring it back. Yet this truth is not meant to bring despair. It is meant to bring urgency. The value of time becomes motivation when you realize how short and precious it is. Instead of wasting another year, another month, another day, you can choose now to honor your time. You can treat each day as a treasure, each moment as an opportunity. Small investments of time, compounded daily, create extraordinary results. Reading for an hour a day transforms your knowledge. Practicing your craft daily sharpens your skill. Spending intentional time with loved ones strengthens bonds that money could never buy. Every little choice of how you spend your time creates the future you will one day face. Time is also the great equalizer. No matter who you are, where you were born, or what resources you have, every person receives the same 24 hours each day. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not time itself, but how they use it. Some squander it in procrastination, while others invest in growth. Some waste it on bitterness and regret, while others use it to heal, forgive, and move forward. Respect for time separates those who build lives of meaning from those who drift aimlessly. The truth is, every moment carries value. When you recognize that, you begin to live with intention. You stop letting distractions steal your hours, and you start aligning your time with your purpose. The value of time is that it pushes you to prioritize what matters most. It reminds you that life is not about being busy, but about being effective. It teaches you to focus not on how long you live, but on how well you use the time you have. Time is the essence of life. To waste it is to waste yourself. To value it is to value your destiny. Every second is an investment, and the return depends on how you spend it. So stop living as if you have forever. You don't. Stop giving your time to what does not matter and start pouring it into what does. Because once the hourglass empties, no power on earth can turn it upside down again. Your time is your life. Treat it like the treasure it is and never waste another moment. Living with purpose is the difference between merely existing and truly living. Existence is waking up, going through the motions, repeating routines, and drifting day after day without a clear destination. Destiny, on the other hand, is intentional. It is fueled by vision, guided by direction, and anchored in meaning. Purpose is what transforms an ordinary life into a life of impact. It is what gives every moment significance, every action weight, and every day a reason to matter. Without purpose, people become lost in cycles of business, chasing activity without achievement, comfort without fulfillment, and years without legacy. With purpose, even the smallest tasks carry meaning because they are part of a greater design. When you live without purpose, life feels empty no matter how much you accomplish. You can accumulate wealth, status, and possessions, but if you lack direction, those things feel hollow. Purpose answers the deeper question of why? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why does this matter? Without those answers, success feels shallow. Many people spend their lives climbing ladders only to realize their ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. Purpose ensures that every climb, every sacrifice, every pursuit leads somewhere meaningful. Purpose also provides focus. Life offers countless opportunities, but not all of them align with your destiny. When you do not know your purpose, you say yes to everything, scattering your energy in 1,000 directions and ending up exhausted but unfulfilled. But when you are guided by purpose, you become selective. You learn to say no to distractions because you have a higher yes. Purpose is like a compass that keeps you moving in the right direction even when life gets confusing. It prevents you from drifting into what looks good but isn't meant for you. Living with purpose also fuels perseverance. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but purpose gives you the strength to endure them. If you are only chasing money, fame, or approval, obstacles will discourage you. But when you know your purpose, difficulties become training grounds, pain becomes preparation, setbacks become stepping stones, and failures become feedback. Purpose gives you the resilience to keep moving forward when others quit, because you know your struggle is not wasted. It is serving a bigger picture. Another power of purpose is that it brings fulfillment. Joy does not come from having everything. It comes from doing what you were created to do. When you align with your purpose, even hard work feels rewarding because it connects you to something bigger than yourself. Purpose turns pressure into passion. It shifts your focus from what you can get to what you can give. A life of purpose leaves you satisfied, not because it is always easy, but because it's always meaningful. Purpose also impacts others. Your destiny is never just about you. It is about the lives you touch along the way. When you live with purpose, you inspire, uplift, and create ripple effects that extend beyond your own story. Think of the teachers, leaders, innovators, and caregivers whose sense of purpose changed countless lives. They may not have been the richest or the most famous, but they left an inheritance of impact. Purpose multiplies itself. When you live in alignment with it, you give others a mission to find theirs too. Perhaps the greatest tragedy is not death, but living without purpose. To waste years on things that never mattered, to invest energy in things that never lasted, to fill your days with that leads nowhere. That is the slow death of the soul. Purpose rescues you from that fate. It breathes life into your time and gives you urgency to live fully because you realize each day is part of a greater mission. Living with purpose means refusing to settle for existence. It means discovering your why and letting it shape every choice you make. It means waking up each morning knowing that your life matters, that your time counts, and that your destiny is unfolding. Purpose is not something you stumble into. It is something you decide to live by. And when you do, every step, every struggle, every sacrifice becomes infused with meaning. Life without purpose is survival. Life with purpose is significance. Choose significance. Choose to live with purpose, because that is the only way to turn your years into destiny and your moments into legacy. Procrastination is one of the most dangerous a person can develop because it feels harmless in the moment, yet destroys destinies in the long run. It is subtle, quiet, and deceptive, convincing you that you can always start tomorrow, that there will always be more time, that the perfect moment is just around the corner. But the truth is, procrastination is the silent thief of destiny. It steals your days one delay at a time until years have slipped through your fingers. Waiting for the perfect time is an illusion, because there is no such thing. The perfect moment will never arrive. You must create it by acting now. The cycle of delay begins with excuses. You tell yourself you are too tired, too busy, too unprepared, or too afraid. You wait for the right mood, the right resources, or the right opportunities. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. And before you realize it, an entire year is gone with nothing accomplished. This is how procrastination kills potential, not with a sudden blow, but with slow erosion. It drains your time without you noticing until the regret sets in. Many people die with their dreams still inside them, not because they lacked talent or opportunity, but because they kept postponing the moment to begin. Breaking the cycle of delay requires a radical shift in perspective. You must stop believing that time will wait for you. Time is not patient. It keeps moving regardless of whether you act or not. Every delay pushes your dreams further away, not closer. The clock is ticking, and every day you postpone action, you are losing ground that you will never recover. The harsh journey is not waiting for you. It is passing by while you hesitate. To break free, you must embrace urgency and realize that someday is not on the calendar. Only today exists, and today is where change begins. Procrastination is also rooted in fear, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, or even the fear of success. You delay because you convince yourself you are not ready. But readiness is a myth. No one ever feels fully prepared before stepping into something new. Growth comes through action, not before it. You cannot wait to be fearless to start. You must start in spite of fear. Confidence comes through progress, and progress only comes through movement. When you take the first step, even imperfectly, you break the grip of delay and begin to gather momentum. Another way procrastination disguises itself is through busyness. You fill your days with small tasks, convincing yourself you are productive while the big goals remain untouched. This creates the illusion of progress without any real advancement. Breaking the cycle of delay means being honest with yourself about what truly matters. You must prioritize destiny over distractions, long-term gain over short-term comfort, and meaningful progress over meaningless activity. When you focus on what truly counts, procrastination loses its power. The key to overcoming procrastination is discipline. You cannot wait for motivation to arrive because motivation is unreliable. Discipline means you do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It means you commit to consistent action even in small steps, because small steps compound into extraordinary results. A book is written one page at a time. A body is transformed one workout at a time. A business is built one decision at a time. Discipline is what breaks delay, because it forces you to move, and movement creates momentum. Breaking the cycle of delay is about choosing destiny over excuses. You must stop telling yourself you have plenty of time and start living with urgency. You must stop waiting for the perfect conditions and start working with what you have. You must stop postponing your dreams and start building them today. The years you waste will never return, but the years you redeem can change your life. There is a saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same is true for your destiny. You may have wasted time in the past, but you don't have to waste another year. Break the cycle of delay today. Act now, move forward, and commit to progress. Because every day you wait is another day lost forever, but every day you act is a step closer to the life you were created to live. The most dangerous assumption you can make in life is that you have plenty of time. Tomorrow is not promised, yet many people live as if their days are guaranteed, as if the clock will pause until they are ready to move. The truth is sobering. No one is guaranteed another month or another year. Life is fragile, unpredictable, and fleeting. That is why the urgency of now is so critical. If you do not begin today, you may never begin at all. Every dream, every vision, every goal you carry in your heart must be treated with urgency, because time is a gift that cannot be renewed once it is lost. So many lives are wasted on the belief that tomorrow will be better, that conditions will align perfectly, that one day soon they will have enough courage, resources, or inspiration to act. But someday is a trap, a silent thief that lulls you into waiting until the opportunity has passed you by. The urgency of now says that today is the only time you can truly control. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is uncertain, but today is within your hands. What you do with it determines whether you move closer to destiny or further away. The power of now lies in momentum. A single step today, no matter how small, creates movement that builds into progress. Waiting for tomorrow keeps you stuck in paralysis, but action today ignites the spark of possibility. Even imperfect action is better than perfect intention. You don't need to have the full plan figured out to start. You need only the courage to take the next step. Every great achievement began with someone who chose to act now, not later. Urgency also brings clarity. When you live with the mindset that time is limited, you stop wasting it on distractions. You stop giving energy to arguments, gossip, or meaningless activities because you understand that every minute matters. Urgency forces you to prioritize what truly counts: your purpose, your growth, your relationships, your calling. It pushes you to live intentionally, to cut out what drains you, and to focus on what builds you. People who lack urgency scatter their energy everywhere. People who live with urgency channel it into what matters most. Another reason the urgency of now is essential is because opportunity does not wait. Life presents windows of time, and if you hesitate too long, those windows close. The job offered goes to someone else. The idea loses relevance. The chance to speak, act, or move forward disappears. Opportunities rarely knock twice in the same way, and hesitation can cost you doors that will never open again. Urgency ensures that you seize those moments, that you recognize their value, and that you move before it's too late. Living with urgency is not about being anxious. It's about being intentional. Anxiety says, I must do everything now. Urgency says, I must do what matters now. It shifts your mindset from waiting to acting, from delay to progress, from wishing to working. It teaches you that time wasted is life wasted, and that every day is a chance to create change. Some people mistakenly believe they have all the time in the world because they are wealthy or secure, but age is no guarantee, health is not permanent, and security can vanish overnight. The fragility of life should not terrify you but motivate you. It should wake you up to the truth that you cannot keep postponing your dreams. Tomorrow may never come, but today is here, and today is enough to begin. The urgency of now also creates freedom from regret. At the end of life, people do not regret what they tried and failed. They regret what they never attempted. They regret the risks they avoided, the opportunities they ignored, and the time they squandered. Living with urgency means you will not leave this world filled with what ifs. It means you will look back knowing you gave your best, that you acted when you could, and that you did not bury your gifts in the soil of procrastination. The truth is simple: your life is happening now, not tomorrow. The person you want to become, the actions you take today. The legacy you want to leave is built by what you choose to do now. Every dream, every goal, every purpose is waiting for you to step into it. Not when conditions are perfect, but when you decide to stop delaying. Tomorrow is not promised, but today is. That is why urgency is your ally. It reminds you that you have no time to waste, no energy to squander, and no reason to delay. The best time to act is not later. It is now. Start today, move today, build today. Because if you keep waiting for tomorrow, you may lose the only chance you were given, the gift of now. Distractions are one of the greatest enemies of destiny. They rarely appear as obvious obstacles. Instead, they disguise themselves as harmless interruptions, unnecessary commitments, or even good opportunities that are not aligned with your true purpose. The reality is that not everything or everyone deserves your time, because time is your most limited and precious resource. Every minute you spend on something unworthy of your attention is a minute stolen from your progress. Cutting off distractions is not about being cold or selfish. It's about being wise, intentional, and protective of your destiny. Focus is the key to progress, and distractions scatter that focus. Imagine trying to run a race while stopping every few steps to look around, wave to the crowd, or pick up stones along the way. You would never finish. Life is the same. Many people do not fail because they lack talent, vision, or opportunity, but because they allow themselves to be constantly diverted. A distracted life is a delayed life. If you want to move forward with power, you must master the discipline of focus by cutting off the noise that keeps you from your goal. One of the biggest distractions is people. Not everyone who has access to you deserves it. Some people drain your energy, waste your time, or fill your mind with negativity. Others may mean well, but they pull you into endless conversations, trivial debates, or meaningless activities that have no bearing on your destiny. To protect your progress, you must learn the art of silent separation. It does not require hostility. It requires discernment. You simply choose to invest your time in relationships that build you and distance yourself from those that diminish you. Another form of distraction is comparison. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you lose sight of your own race. Social media has made this trap stronger than ever, with endless scrolling that consumes hours of your day and fills your mind with envy, insecurity, or discontent. Comparison distracts you from your unique path by making you focus on what others are doing instead of what you should be building. Cutting off this distraction means reminding yourself daily that your journey is yours alone and your progress is measured not by someone else's timeline, but by your alignment with your purpose. Business is another deceptive distraction. Many people mistake activity for productivity. They fill their schedules with endless tasks, meetings, and obligations, yet none of it moves them closer to their true goals. Business becomes a way of avoiding what really matters because it feels easier to check off small tasks than to confront the bigger vision. To cut this off, you must regularly evaluate your commitments and ask, does this serve my destiny? If it doesn't, let it go. Focused action, not scattered activity, creates progress. Even your own thoughts can be distractions. Doubt, fear, and overthinking often keep you paralyzed. You can spend so much time worrying about failure that you never take action. Cutting off mental distractions requires training your mind to stay present and disciplined. Affirmations, meditation, prayer, or journaling help you quiet the noise and focus your inner energy on what matters. A distracted mind cannot produce focused results, and until you control your thoughts,